Have you ever felt suddenly sad, anxious, or even angry? But you can't explain why? Out of nowhere, you just want to be alone. You're easily irritated, and nothing feels right. Even though, on the outside, everything seems just fine. You're not alone. A lot of people go through this. But the thing is, we grew up in a culture that taught us to hide our emotions. We were told to be strong, not to be too sensitive, not to show weakness. But here's the truth. Suppressing emotions isn't strength. Real strength is when you have the courage to sit with your feelings, to understand them, and to learn how to work through them. Managing emotions doesn't mean being calm all the time or pretending to be positive. It means being human, being aware of what's going on inside you, and choosing to face it rather than run from it. And that starts with one brave step: giving yourself permission to feel. Why should we recognize our emotions? Emotions aren't the enemy. They're signals. Every feeling we have shows up for a reason. When you feel angry, maybe it's because a boundary was crossed, or you felt disrespected. When you feel sad, it might be because you've lost something, a plan, a dream, or someone you care about. When anxiety creeps in, that could be fear about something that hasn't even happened yet. And when you feel joy, that's often when you feel safe, seen, and connected. The problem is most of us were never taught how to read these signals. So we react. We snap at others. Or we shut down and carry it all alone. Worse, we blame ourselves for simply feeling. But here's the truth. Recognizing your emotions isn't a weakness. It's a sign of maturity. Because when you can name what you feel, you create space to choose how you respond. You move from reaction to intention. And that's where real power begins. How to recognize your emotions. So how do we become more in tune with our feelings? Steps 1. Listen to your body. Before the conscious mind catches up, the body often gives us signals. A racing heart, a heavy head, shortness of breath, or sudden muscle tension. These aren't just physical sensations. They're your body processing emotions long before your brain fully understands what's going on. So next time, pause and listen. Your body might be trying to tell you something. Steps 2. Name your feelings. You're not just tired, maybe you're disappointed. You're not just in a bad mood, maybe you feel unappreciated. Ask yourself reflective questions like, what am I really feeling? What triggered this emotion? What emotional need is not being met? Sometimes, naming the feeling is the first step to healing. Steps 3. Write it down. Take just 5 to 10 minutes a day to write this down. Today, I feel __ because __. I want to respond to this by __. Writing helps turn blurry feelings into something clearer and lighter. It's not about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself. Start small. Start today. How to manage emotions in a healthy way. Now that you've learned to recognize your emotions, it's time to manage them. 1. Pause. When emotions rise, don't react right away. Take a moment. Breathe deeply. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Repeat this until your body feels calmer. It helps your nervous system shift from reactive to reflective. 2. Validate your feelings. Tell yourself, what I'm feeling is valid, but I can choose how to respond. Too often, We judge ourselves. Ugh, I'm overreacting. Why am I being so sensitive? But every emotion shows up for a reason. When you acknowledge your feelings, you gain the power to direct them. 3. Channel your emotions in a healthy way. Not everything needs to be shared with others. Try journaling, talking to a friend, exercising, meditating, or creating art. Find what works for you. 4. Don't hesitate to ask for help. If it feels overwhelming, talk to a professional. Therapy isn't for the weak. It's for the strong. For those brave enough to face themselves and grow. Emotions are a part of who we are. They're not something to hide, but something to understand and honor. Learning to manage your emotions isn't instant. Sometimes you'll slip. Sometimes you'll feel lost. But every time you try to understand what you feel, that's a form of courage. Because when you can recognize and manage your emotions wisely, you don't just become calmer, you become stronger, more mature, more present for yourself and for others. Life isn't about being happy all the time. It's about being able to stand tall, even when your heart feels heavy. So take a deep breath, feel what you need to feel, and remember, every step you take toward emotional awareness is a step toward becoming your truest self. If this content helped shift your perspective about emotions, don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment below. Tell me, what emotion have you been feeling most often lately? And what do you usually do to calm yourself down? And if you want me to dive deeper into topics like overthinking, people-pleasing, or building emotional intelligence, let me know in the comments. See you in the next video.